Hello again, it's me. So I guess I'm just gonna do all of the little minis in one video because, you know, I would be here all day if I was gonna do like a complete flip through on each one of these little minis that I just listed. So these are part of a series that, you know, I'm working on. I guess I'm always working on some kind of series. But so these ones, and these are listed now on Etsy as the passport minis, these 5. So I'll flip through, you know, a couple of them a little bit. You know, there's 10 photos on Etsy on each listing, so you can get a much better, you know, view of like details and things like that on the listing. And that, of course, will be linked in the video description, so no worries. But yeah, so each one of them is, let's see, what is the measurement again? I always forget. So it's 3.5 by 5.5. So this is like a traveler's notebook, like passport size insertable journal. And each one has some charms and, you know, lots of embellishment on the front in the form of ephemera and, you know, some kind of little cluster, that kind of thing. I always just attach a little card on the front here with a paper clip to just kind of identify the journal in my stock so that you get the right one. I have actually sent the wrong journal to somebody before, and it was a real pain. So I try really, really hard to not do that. But, you know, anyway, I won't go there. So each one is stitched together with a piece of baker's twine. They're all single signature, made out of a hanging file folder, or a piece of a hanging file folder in the dark green color. So I kind of flipped it inside out because I liked the paler green on the outside and the dark green on the inside. They actually come the other way around. So, you know, and each one is just filled with book pages, coffee dyed paper, little tags, some glassine envelopes in each one that also have, you know, tags and things like that inserted in them. See, you know, that kind of stuff, little cards and little bits, you know, attached on some of the pages as little tabs, you know, vintage maps, coffee dyed scrapbook paper, little flowers attached here and there, some vintage lace. Some of it I've coffee dyed, some I haven't. Playing cards, postage stamps, all kinds of little like stamped images that I've punched out. Just a lot of, you know, randomness. Some onion skin paper here. I just love onion skin paper. Oh my gosh, I love it. Some vintage advertising. Most of the advertising that you'll see in my journals is cut from the magazine. Some of it I've scanned and reprinted, depending. But, you know, some stamping, different weights of paper. This is just from a paper bag. Little bundles of paper and tags and journaling cards, paper clipped into the book here and there. Yeah, some ephemera, little seam binding label there. Lots going on in these little books. You know, there's a lot of work that goes into each one of these, just as much work as, you know, a larger journal, a full-size, you know, hardcover journal. So, so that is actually chunky passport number 4 that I just flipped through. So, and then I'll just kind of go through these a little bit each one. So this is number 1, and it's got, you know, some layering on the cover and, you know, some charms. On the closure, as well as, you know, attached on a little ball chain here. And I added an extra little eyelet on the lower corner of each of these journals, so that, you know, you could attach more charms if you wanted to on like a big jump ring or a chain or something like that. So, and, you know, I included some, you know, authentic like ephemera from some stuff that I got off of eBay recently that I just thought was really cool. So you'll be able to identify that stuff easily. Yeah, so kind of similar, you know, but of course each one is going to be completely different at the same time. So this is Chunky Passport number 2, and, you know, it's just no rhyme or reason really. Very random, chunky journal, you know, and these will fit into a passport traveler's notebook cover, so the passport size. So this is number 3 with one of my little clusters on the front, and then also I attached some additional little buttons. There's another one under this card. There you go. It's kind of hard to get that in there. One second. Yeah, I do not want these coming off. Come on. There we go. And this one actually ties with some seam binding. And, you know, more of the same, and obviously different at the same time. Getting a little bit more colorful, I think, lately. I don't know. Just lots of yumminess throughout the whole book. So they're, you know, they're pretty chunky on their own. So, but there's still plenty of room. You know, you could add tons of stuff into these, you know, as you wish. But so this is number 5, and there's some little paper flowers attached on the cover. And again, some layering and a little cluster there. And there's a book plate that I've been trying to include in each one of the journals. Some, like, an oversized paper clip there. It's a little bundle of ephemera and, you know, tags throughout. Some have like lace attached to them. A lot of coffee dyed paper, more glassine envelopes, that kind of stuff. So, like I said, you know, there's just about as much work in one of these little minis as there is in a full-size journal. So I just want to, you know, kind of make that point. So, so this is the next size that I'm working on. This is an A6. So it measures 4 by 6 inches. Each of these do. And again, single signature. Most of these are, these are stitched with different types of cord and twine and that kind of thing. But each has a little bundle of charms on the front upper corner. And then, each one of them has a different type of closure. So this one is seam binding with a hitch post. So actually I should tie that back into a bow and then it just slips over the hitch post. But so kind of, the same type of stuff as those little passport size ones. I always put a pocket on the front and the back inside of each one of my books. I just, like that. I think it's handy to have a pocket on the front and the back. And lots of pockets throughout each one. There's the book plate in this one. So some of the pages are, folded into a pocket. Some are like a flip out, that kind of thing. There's some more vintage lace trim that's been coffee dyed. And little tags. This is a library card. Postage stamps. Yeah. So, you know, just rest assured, any one of these journals is going to have just as much going on inside, you know, and I think a little bit of a surprise is kind of a good thing sometimes. So, so this is number 2 of the A6 size. And, you know, I've used some of my little tiles on each one of these too. So I just wanted to kind of point that out. Most of them have like at least 2 of them. So, lots of, you know, vintage, like old letters and notes out of notebooks and things like that. Some advertising. This is an old letter to somebody. I liked the envelope. Very chunky little books. But, you know, since they're flexible, like these covers are, you know, somewhat flexible, I mean, you could really pack this full and add a whole lot of your own stuff into these books. You know, not just writing, but, you know, you could attach pictures to the pages and your own ephemera, you know. So this is number 3. Just a quick little flip through. And I always do like almost like a spread, you know, on the inside. I put a pocket almost always in the center of my signatures. And so you wind up with like a pocket on this side with a tuck spot, 2 pockets, and then, you know, another pocket and tuck spot here. So there's always a lot going on right in the center of the book. There's one of those handwritten letters, you know, just kind of folded in so it'll stay in the journal. You know, and sometimes people will gesso the pages in these, or, you know, tape a piece of paper onto this side so that they can write on it or whatever. It's, you know, you can do whatever you want in these books. And I've recently been, you know, lucky enough to see some videos of people actually using my journals, and it's really cool to see how people use them, you know. So this is number 4, and this one, I really like the way it turned out with kind of a rose sort of theme, I guess. You know, not like exclusively, but I added some little paper leaves that I painted green, and they look like rose leaves. So I kind of attached those on each one of the areas or the pages where I wanted to have a tab. So each tab is like a little rose leaf. This is an old sewing pattern that I made into pockets. So again, you know, the center of the book is, you know, that same setup with the tuck spot, pockets, tuck spots. And this is like a, you know, a flip out glassine bag filled with goodies. So yeah, so this is number 4, and these are listed now. So check those out, and you know, of course, I will definitely combine shipping. Sometimes Etsy doesn't automatically do that. So, you know, if I notice that there's some kind of dramatic overage on shipping or whatever, I will refund that to you. So, just so you know. And this is journal number 5. This is the A6 number 5. Lots of coffee dyed paper and book pages. This is from an old atlas, really old atlas. Sheet music. Yeah, this is a flashcard with a vintage postage stamp. Some little stamped images that I just kind of cut out. And on this one, for the tabs, I just used those old school, like, you know, the plastic ones with the like fabric that are supposed to glue onto the side of the page. I, you know, attached them with the little mini staples. So this is book paper from an old law book. And a little cluster on the back of this one that is like a little tuck spot. So, and this is like from some sheet music, that kind of thing. So I'm sure if you've seen any of my other videos, or you know, or if you have any of my journals, you'll see that I'll use just about anything I can get my hands on if it's made out of paper. All right, so there, I did it. There's 10 little minis that are newly listed and active right now. So if you have any questions or anything like that, just, you know, either send me a message on Etsy, or, you know, ask in the comments on the video. I'm honestly a little bit quicker to respond through Etsy. So just because I get like a active like notification when I get a message on Etsy, a little bit better than on YouTube. So it just grabs my attention. But yeah, so I'm happy I finally got some of these finished. I've got some more that I'm working on. But I will, it's going to be a little while before I add anything more. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy that. And give me a thumbs up if you get just a second to do that, okay? And yeah, check them out on my Etsy shop. And thank you very much. You guys take care. Bye.